Happy Wednesday. I am Queen Miss Ebony J, and we are here broadcasting live from the Ebony J Media Learning Center. It's always good you get a chance to link up, and I love to come to talk to you and let you know what's happening in your neighborhoods, and especially when we got free things going on. I'm excited about today's guest because he didn't come alone. He came and brought people with him, so we're going to go around and have everybody introduce themselves. And then I'm going to have you talk a little bit about yourself, Mr. Duran, okay?
That'll work.
All righty, so tell us your name.
My name is Liz.
Liz, okay, and you here part of?
IDream Academy.
Period, represent, what's your name?
My name is Benjamin. I'm a consultant and a facilitator with IDream Academy.
Period, and what's your name, beautiful?
Genesis.
Genesis, and what you do at iDream? What do you do with iDream Academy?
I am one of the
Youth leaders.
youth leaders at IDream Academy.
Okay, so we have the king behind the whole entire program. He's been doing this since '07 and is truly, truly serious and committed about making sure that those who have experienced trauma get the help that they need. So go ahead, hit your share button so your family and friends know about this and they can be a part of this conversation. Mr. Duran, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been doing this and what made you get started?
Well, hey, Ed, it's a pleasure to be here. This is probably our 20th year almost. And the idea behind it was dreaming, giving youth that platform, that there are no limits, no limitations. And just want to acknowledge to Mr. Gabe and Ms. Yolanda, as well as the other IDA coaches and so forth like that. So.
What's your goal with iDream Academy? What do you hope to achieve with our youth?
Well, the goal is to prosper for one, minimize the lack of direction, break down the trauma, get to a place to where self-sufficiency and self-confidence takes precedence of achievement. The number one goal is success, and then each one teach one, so that we can pass that down as we move forward in our years.
What makes you qualified? Tell us about your experience with trauma.
Well, you know what? Life. You know what? That's the greatest PhD I've known. Personal experience with trauma comes through my own personal experiences. You know, the atmosphere was shaped of domestic violence, social and emotional disconnect in my own home. And so with those breakdowns and those barriers, I found it hard and difficult to make the decisions that were going to get me to that next place. You know, and some of those, sometimes that can become a barrier to where you just lose momentum and focus.
And what would you say have been your strategies to get through?
Well, first of all, I developed a faith in God. And having that faith foundation was the thing that I had to hold on to when everything just got totally out of control. And when all hope was gone, you have that one place of holding on to that faith and that belief.
You ain't never lied.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
like, I don't know how people
you.
living without them because it can get hard sometimes.
It gets treacherous to the point to where, you know, we know that hopelessness produces the unthinkable outcome.
Yeah.
And especially in a season like what we're in now, you know, it's even all the more challenging of people being hopeless. And so we're trying to initiate an atmosphere of hope, especially in teens right now that might feel that hopelessness clutch on them.
Well, let's talk about this book, Innocence of a Child. I know you've been talking about working on this project for a very long time now, and it's complete. It's here, and we got a copy. Talk to us. What can we expect when we're reading this?
Well, definitely. Innocence of a Child is about at what place in your life did you stop looking at the world as beautiful? Anytime a child or a youth looks at the world and it no longer has the essence of purity, now everything else takes shape, and everything from the external can begin to form and formulate your perception of it. And so with innocence of a child, it was a perception that no longer was the world beautiful anymore. And when you approach it from that mindset or see it from that mindset, you live it according to the way you see it. And how you shape that is either going to be a positive or a negative. So perception of it is real.
Yeah.
You know, we gravitate towards things based off how we see it, or people based off how we see it.
Well, I know the whole event is coming up, Victory Over Violence, which is a spinoff and a big introduction for the whole entire book, which totally makes sense. In your life, you have a choice. You can choose victory or you can choose violence. And, you know, when it's all about the decision that you're going to make, but it's about making sure that you have the support, which I know you have partners that are going to be a part of this event, making sure that we have support for our baby. So talk about that.
Yeah. You know, this isn't a one-man event. This is too big for just one organization. And it is with the partnership of people like lighthouses and the Talbot houses and or community organizations that pitches in and supporters. Not to mention every attendee, because this can't even take place without those who have registered because you believe in it and want to see something better and change out in this community. And again, the passion of the kids that are dropping every week when we turn on the media is just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And so for those that are tuning in and looking for some solutions, some answers, you know, you can't complete it, but you can have some kind of answers. So those that are in support of the Victory Over Violence are key and instrumental organizations in helping to minimize the destruction of what we're seeing, whether it's teen dropout, teen pregnancy, the other things that come along with that. And I just salute every last person that has believed in this and that is believing this, because we can have a victory over the violence, but it can't be all through textbook. We need some grassroots clutches into this joint right now. And the people that are partnering with us, they're actually active about it and want to be about it. So those are the ones that I gravitated towards.
Well, December 7th, it's going down right across the street, 1776 Mentor Avenue. This is a free event, and get this, the event is different because it's not just going to be Mr. Duran there, but it's going to be youth there. And the whole point of this event is to make sure that the youth know that they have a voice and their voice deserves to be heard. And so without further ado, I want to make sure I take some time out to talk to you all, because, you know, it's a lot happening in our communities, especially with the violence. And I just want to know, from the youth perspective, what do you all think is the main cause? And how is it really affecting you all?
I think the main cause of violence, I don't think it has anything to do with music for real. That's a lot of fingers that people point into the music. And I don't believe in that, because I do listen to that type of music, but I'm a very nice and calm person. So I don't think it's the music. I think it is people who grow up around people like that. A lot of times younger brothers grow watching their older brothers like that and want to be like their older brother and turn out like that. So it's just like a generational thing passed down.
That need to be broken. What would you say?
I think personally it's the social media. A lot of, parents are not watching their kids, accounts on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. A lot of youth are posting guns and what they would do to other youth in the world. I really think it's the social media.
Now, when you see those things, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel a type of way. But me, I'm not that type of person to do any of those things. But it's very sad for me to watch other teenagers go through the things that I'm seeing, like them getting killed every single day or every other week. Me waking up to my friends being on the news.
Yeah,
it's sad.
What do you think are some ways that, we can create a safer place for the youth after hearing some of the things that they have expressed?
Yeah, I think there is a disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation. That the younger generation doesn't seem like they even trust the older generation anymore. And they have a voice, but they don't feel comfortable in saying it. And we, as the older generation, have to be willing to listen and say, okay, I know I've been your age, but I haven't been your age during this time.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to listen because I'm not going to assume I know what's necessary, but the solution is going to be with us connected no matter what. So we have to connect the generations and say, I'm going to help you and I'm going to listen to what's really going on so we can come together and make things better.
I want to know from all of you before we wrap up today, if you had the power to change one thing around you that you think could reduce violence, what would that be and why?
Fathers. Fathers. I'm going to say that a lot of our young men out here are struggling with their identity.
Yeah.
Understanding they find an identity in their neighborhoods, they find an identity in their gangs and other things, social media. But is there the man that you came from that looks you in the eye and say, I'm going to do whatever I have to make sure these streets don't claim you, and I'm going to show you the way. You're my son. I'm going to show you how to do this. And if we had more of that,
Yeah,
I think that would stir the thing. But a lot of cases, we don't have that family dynamic. So it can't be like, oh, well, what else do we do? Well, that's where we come in a lot of ways. We have mentors. We have people that can step in and say, hey, I'm not your father. I can't fill that void, but I'm going to show you what I know as I would an own child myself. And I think that's going to help guide you and show you that I care, and we're going to make this thing happen together.
well, you definitely said fathers and family dynamic, which kind of leads to what she said. The fathers are absent, so I'm looking up to my older brother or my older sibling who don't have the top guidance. So really, I'm just being shown and continuing the cycle of what's around me. If you had the power, what would you change?
I think I would change. I think I would change the mentality of way people think. A lot of the gun violence is from people feeling like that they have to get revenge with a gun in order to stop something or to ruin something in order to make matters even, but that's not always the way out.
What would you say, Mr. D?
Accountability, community. And in the community presence, I looked at a community coalition where each community creating a accountability and a coalition so that we can kind of look at what's going on in individual communities and address those issues somehow. That's one. The second thing is, and I have to go back to the breakdown of the spirituality, with a level of one's belief and one's faith, we have missed the component of the love and the breakdown of values and things from that structure being broken. And until we get that, we're watching a culture that is absent almost, because only hate can kill, not love can kill. And hurting people hurt people. And so getting to a place to where we can correlate and formulate an atmosphere where there's a love and a faith, then we can start seeing some of that chip away. Because what I'm watching is a lot of hurt. And that's that trauma that we're talking about. And that comes from a seed that's planted somewhere. And to Mr. B's take, where does it start? We have good parents, good single parents, good mom, dads, and doing the best that they can. And kids are making their own decisions to go in some cases. But where does the seed to hate enough that I don't have a problem with taking your life? Where is that seed from? That's hurt. That's pain.
And if you had the power, what would you be changing?
Parenting. A lot of young parents are actually gifting their children guns. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of young kids are asking for on their Christmas lists for guns or just things to use that has something to do with violence. Some of the parents, since they grew up like in the streets or in the hood, they would like to pass it down to their generation, and I just don't think that's right.
A lot has been said today, but the conversation continues. December 7th, 1 to 7, you are invited to be here. 1776 Mentor Avenue. This is a free event, and you will be able to hear more of this. We can talk about the problems, but it's all about finding a real solution. And just know you have the power to choose victory over violence. We hope to see you soon. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you again for this movement. And if you would like to be a guest here at the Ebony J Media Center, again, you can click any of the links that you see a part of this interview. We're having our Black Friday sale, so please do not be afraid if you have any questions to slide in our DMs. But I hope to see you next Saturday right here across the street so we can have some real talk right here. Is there a cost? Because it's free, I know, but is how many tickets left? Can we still register?
Yeah, still can register. Feel free to go to idreamacademy.org, idreamacademy.org, or you can register on the website and just choose the number of tickets that will be coming with you. So go to www.idreamacademy.org.
And don't forget to hit that share button so that way your family and friends can also register and be a part and can come and attend this amazing event. Thank you all so much for watching.